And we're back. And this is the Samsung S10e. This is the newest smartphone from Samsung. Finally got my hands on the S10e. Now I was at the Samsung store really looking to see which phone I wanted to get, but once I saw the Samsung E, I pre-ordered it right there on the spot, and it finally arrived today. And the reason why, because of the fingerprint scanner on the side. This is a flagship phone in a smaller package, and I can't wait to get into it. So let's get into the Samsung S10e.
Boomerang shield!
Slide this out. Bang. Look at the size of this. Let's boot this up and look at that power button that doubles as the fingerprint scanner. Bang. This is your Type 2 fast charging brick. Here is your adapter to transfer your information. And here is the 8kg Buds by Samsung. So here we have it. Here's your Samsung Buds. This looks really good. Nice angled tip, 8kg logo. This, from what everybody's saying, it sounds real good. Here you have your extra ear tips. This is your 3.5mm headphone jack right here. This is going to be real interesting to use. And here we have your connector, USB to Type-C connector. Look at this phone. Man, what a nice look. So I'm going to program my 2 index fingers and my thumb. Once you sign in with your Samsung account, now you're in. And bang, look at this. Nice, comfortable phone that's gonna fit in your hand real good. So if you lock the phone, soon as you start pulling it out your pocket, your thumb is gonna unlock the phone. You're gonna be right in. You got your volume keys, you got your Bixby button right here that you can reassign to something else, and that fingerprint scanner that doubles as your power button. Wow. So you have to press down, keep your finger there for like a second, and you're in. Headphone jack, Type-C, Type 2 fast charging, and here's your speaker. You have the pinhole notch that you can barely see right there. This is such a clean look, not much interference. So let's get into the specs. You have a 5.8-inch Full HD Plus display. You also have the Snapdragon 855 with 6 or 8 gigs of RAM. This one has 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, or this is the 256 version. The front camera, this pinhole camera right here, 10 megapixel front facing camera, and in the rear you have a 12 and a wide angle 16 megapixel camera. With the battery, you have a 3100 milliamp hour battery that we're definitely going to put to the test, and you have wireless charging and fast wireless charging, and fast charging 2.0. Now of course you got this expandable memory up to 1 terabyte, and you also have stereo speakers, speaker up here and a speaker right here at the bottom. These are the specs, and this is the Samsung S10e. This is the part of the video where you should like and subscribe and leave a comment, because I'm giving away true wireless earbuds and these Galaxy Buds.
Honestly,
so it's been a few weeks now using the Samsung S10e, and I gotta say, it's really refreshing to come back and use a flagship phone that's actually so small. This phone is so small, neat, and compact, but when you're looking at the screen, when you're looking at video, it doesn't feel small at all. 5.8 inches that we used to call phablet size. Now this is a small sized phone because of shrinking the bezels, being able to use the phone with one hand. Fingerprint scanner is definitely at a spot that I'm happy with. Instantly you can get in, There's sometimes I have my phone mounted and bang, I need to get in. You can see right there, just place my finger there, bang, and I'm in. I got the facial recognition set up, but it's not accurate. I basically did it for the video purposes. I'm not going to be using facial recognition. Real easy to get in the phone with this power button fingerprint scanner right here. Basically the same size, that's a little bit smaller than how Samsung used to have it, but it's the same oval type design. Fingerprint scanner is definitely boss on this phone. Now with the Samsung UI with the Snapdragon 845, really runs smooth. They trying to prevent you from having to reach up to the top of the phone. Everything is within your finger distance, which is good. This is one of the main things that's been set up on the UI to make these phablet phones a little bit easier to use, and I think it's been done excellent. Now let's go into the photos. The front-facing camera, 10 megapixels, which is new for Samsung this year, and this 10 megapixel camera, you can definitely take some real close-in shots, and you can expand it to go a little bit wider. Now on the rear with the cameras, 12 and 16 megapixels. The 12 megapixel is basically the same camera that we've dealt with from Samsung before the last couple of years. But the 16 megapixel camera wide angle is exactly the change that's been needed. Going wide angle is the reason why I stayed with LG for so long. But now that Samsung has a wide angle camera, Samsung has always had a loud bottom firing speaker that a lot of people has really lived with, but having a speaker that's coming at you towards the front combined with this loud bottom speaker, pretty good speaker combination on this phone. Now normally I keep in my bag, I keep Type-C earbuds in my bag, and I can still listen to my Type-C earbuds on this Samsung phone, and I can listen to my music and everything right through this Type-C. With Samsung keeping the headphone jack, I can use my headphone jack as well. So all my top quality earbuds I can still use on this Samsung phone in 2019. This is probably the first years where you can get a top-notch, smaller phone, pay less money, and still get the top-notch specs of the bigger phones. On the Samsung S10e, if you use it heavy during the day, you can kill this phone in about 10 hours. But if you use it conservatively, the most you'll get is about 14 hours. Snapdragon 855 with 6 or 8 gigs of RAM, and I'm telling you, with this one with the 8 gigs of RAM, is absolutely flying. I don't mind spending the extra $100 to get a little bit more RAM, because that means the phone can last with me a little bit longer. Now, even though I don't keep my phones for a long time, I think this might be one that might want to stay in my pocket for a long time, because the form factor, the ease of use, the good snappy UI, which is absolutely a pleasure to use. To save a few $100s, and I'm still getting a very capable, if not better, fingerprint scanner right there at the side, which is very convenient to use. So last year when I was using the OnePlus 6T and it had that fingerprint scanner right here in the front, I enjoyed using that phone. But going back to having the fingerprint scanner in the front was a bit different for me, because I got used to my fingerprint scanners on the back. But I'm saying, the one experience that I had on a really budget phone on having the fingerprint scanner on the side, fingerprint scanner that just works. Program your other finger just in case. That was a great experience, having the fingerprint scanner on the side. Now with Samsung, they brought it back, and I have no problems using this side mounted fingerprint scanner. I'm having such a great experience with Samsung this year. I'm really impressed the Samsung S10e is a no compromise flagship phone at a really budget price at a small size. So I know a lot of people are really gonna kick themselves trying to figure out, should they really spend the extra money and get the bigger Samsung S10 or S10 Plus? I can definitely say you can pass on the S10 Plus, and I would say your decision should be, should I get the regular S10 or should I get the S10e?